Welcome to Geoscope. Today we turn to a political storm that blends scandal, secrecy, and high-stakes fallout in Washington. In a significant development on Capitol Hill, the House Oversight Committee has just released a new trove of material recovered from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. The release is part of the committee's ongoing investigation into the late financier's network of influence and the circumstances surrounding his crimes. Central to this new release is a document that's being called Epstein's birthday book. This isn't just a simple guest list, it's a leather-bound collection of signatures and personal notes allegedly assembled for Epstein's 50th birthday back in 2003. At the time, Epstein was at the zenith of his power, cultivating an image as a brilliant and well-connected philanthropist. This book appears to be a testament to that carefully crafted persona, filled with well wishes from a veritable who's who of the global elite. High-profile figures, powerful CEOs, and even former presidents. Among the many names now entering the public record, one has drawn immediate and intense scrutiny: Donald Trump. The entry attributed to him is brief, but its implications are significant in the current political landscape. However, the former president's team is forcefully pushing back, mounting a swift and categorical denial. They are dismissing the entry as an outright fake, a fabrication designed to politically damage him. Their argument centers on forensic evidence, pointing to what they claim are glaring discrepancies in the handwriting when compared to thousands of official documents and personal correspondence signed by Trump during the 1990s and early 2000s. Handwriting experts are now likely to be drawn into the fray to analyze the signature's loops, slants, and pressure. This clash sets the stage for a contentious debate. For critics, it's another data point connecting powerful individuals to Epstein's orbit. For supporters, it's a politically motivated attack using questionable evidence. For the victims of Epstein's abuse, each new document release is a painful reminder of the past, but also a potential step toward holding accountable not just Epstein, but the powerful network that enabled him. The Oversight Committee has indicated this is not the final release, promising that the full picture of Epstein's world is still slowly and painstakingly coming into focus. The document's journey into the public eye is a story of political maneuvering. Its release wasn't initiated by Republicans who chair the committee, but was instead forced into the open through a subpoena championed by the committee's Democrats. Their stated reason is a commitment to full transparency, arguing the American public has a right to see any evidence related to the conduct of a former president. However, political analysts suggest a more calculated strategy: to place Republicans in the uncomfortable position of either defending the note's contents or attacking the process, effectively keeping the controversy alive in the news cycle. In response, Republicans are largely closing ranks around Donald Trump, deploying a two-pronged defense that has become a familiar playbook. The first line of attack is to question the document's legitimacy. Staunch Trump allies have aggressively labeled the note a fabrication, a politically motivated forgery designed to damage the former president. This narrative taps into a deep-seated distrust of mainstream sources among the party's base. The second, more nuanced argument is to dismiss the note as irrelevant. Proponents of this view claim that even if authentic, its contents are old news and have no bearing on the current political landscape. But critics and independent observers are quick to highlight the awkward contradiction at the heart of this defense. If the note is truly insignificant, why not simply confirm its authenticity and move on? The refusal to do so, they argue, suggests the contents may be more damaging than the party is willing to admit. This public display of unity, however, masks a growing sense of unease behind closed doors. Sources on Capitol Hill, speaking on the condition of anonymity, describe a palpable tension within the Republican conference. Moderates and members from swing districts are reportedly worried about the potential electoral fallout, fearing they will be forced to answer for the controversy back home. There's a growing frustration with the constant cycle of crisis management tied to the former president, which many feel distracts from their legislative agenda and damages the party's long-term credibility. To quell this internal dissent and project an image of strength, the party leadership is working overtime. Speaker Mike Johnson, in a crucial test of his ability to manage his fractious caucus, has been coordinating messaging and urging members to stay on script. He and other key Trump allies are making the rounds on friendly media, reinforcing the party line. This effort is amplified by a powerful conservative media ecosystem. Major outlets have conspicuously downplayed the document's significance, burying the story or ignoring it altogether. Instead, they've shifted their focus to topics that energize the base, such as border security, crime, and inflation. This isn't just a passive omission, it's a deliberate strategic choice to control the narrative, starve the controversy of oxygen, and ensure it never gains traction with the voters who matter most to them. At the heart of the controversy is a battle over perception. Inside the Trump campaign, the strategy is clear and familiar: deny, deflect, and attack. Aides and surrogates have fanned out across the media landscape, armed with talking points that paint the entire affair as a desperate last-ditch smear campaign. They insist there's nothing to see here, framing the release of the note as nothing more than partisan theater, meticulously orchestrated by their political rivals to distract from substantive issues. This well-worn playbook aims to solidify his base and cast doubt on the credibility of the source, hoping to muddy the waters enough that the core allegations fail to gain traction with undecided voters. But the contents of the note itself make that a difficult task. While the original document remains under seal, the details leaked to the press are explosive. Sources describe pages filled not just with policy ideas, but with crude, handwritten annotations and bizarre, suggestive drawings in the margins. It's this combination of unprofessionalism and unsettling imagery that the White House fears will linger in the public consciousness long after the initial news cycle fades. The note doesn't just suggest a policy misstep. For critics, it paints a picture of a chaotic and undisciplined mindset, feeding into a pre-existing narrative about temperament and fitness for office. Adding a volatile new dimension to the drama, Trump has gone on the offensive, filing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against News Corp, the parent company of the Wall Street Journal, which first published the note's contents. The suit alleges defamation and malicious intent, a classic counterpunch designed to intimidate the press and project an image of strength. However, legal experts caution this is a high-risk gambit. As a public figure, Trump faces an incredibly high bar to prove actual malice. Furthermore, the lawsuit opens the door to the discovery process. This means Trump and his inner circle could be forced to answer questions under oath and turn over internal communications, potentially unearthing even more damaging information. Whether the lawsuit proceeds to that stage and what discovery might ultimately reveal remains a perilous open question for the campaign. Democrats, for their part, are wasting no time in seizing the moment. Party leaders and campaign strategists are framing the revelations not as a simple gaffe, but as a fundamental question of accountability and character. They are weaving the note's contents into a broader narrative, arguing it represents a pattern of behavior that disqualifies him from holding the nation's highest office. The story is already being featured in fundraising emails and digital ad campaigns designed to mobilize their base and persuade swing voters that the stakes are too high. For them, this isn't just about one note. It's a powerful symbol of the chaos they claim another Trump presidency would bring. Oversight Ranking Member Robert Garcia openly clashed with Chairman James Comer, signaling a new, more aggressive Democratic posture on the committee. The bigger question: how much political damage does this actually cause? Operatives on both sides admit it's unlikely to decide the 2026 midterms. But the issue could influence base turnout and add to the steady drumbeat of controversies surrounding Trump. Even within the Republican Party, divisions are surfacing. Marjorie Taylor Greene, usually a staunch Trump ally, has warned the Epstein revelations are dampening enthusiasm among parts of the GOP base. For now, this story is less about hard evidence of wrongdoing and more about the optics, secrecy, denial, and the shadows of Epstein's network. And while it may not swing elections, it deepens the atmosphere of mistrust that surrounds Trump's political future. This is Geoscope, where we track the forces shaping power and perception across the globe.